Okay, how to add rows to a data frame. So imagine a data frame, again the iris data frame. It has some rows, right? Let's say in this case there are 3 rows, column A, B and C, and there are more columns that need to be added to this data frame. So this is the original data frame and you want to add more rows to this data frame. Essentially you want to achieve this in the original data frame. How do you do that? Well, here is how we are preparing the data. So this is the original data frame, let's say data frame 1, and we need to add more rows, right? So to add a new row or a set of rows, typically you'll have that in another data frame, like a data frame 2. So you want to add all the rows in data frame 2 to data frame 1 and create this bigger data frame 1. The way to do that is with the command rbind. Okay, rbind. You specify the original data frame, the data frame 1 that we want to add the rows to, and then you also specify the second data frame that you want the rows to be pulled from, and then R will automatically add all the rows in data frame 2 to data frame 1 and then put it in this new data frame. So the command is rbind. So let's check it out. How to add rows to a data frame. Now here we are trying to add a new row, just one row, not from a data frame, but just create a new observation, right? So let's see this. Iris underscore small is essentially the iris data frame with the species taken away. Okay, iris underscore small equals iris of all the species except of columns 1 through 4, and then that's it, the species column is lost. So if we do a head of iris underscore small, you'll get these 4 columns. We want to add just one row, let's say this new observation. Okay, so copy that. New observation equals this, right? Now we want to add that to iris underscore small. How do you do that? So you say rbind iris underscore small, comma, new observation, right? So now you see that iris had initially 150 rows, right? That's the standard iris data frame. The new observation has been added and now that is 151. That's the new observation that has been added. So that's how you add one row to a data frame. If you want to add more rows to a data frame, like the entire set of rows from another data frame into data frame 1, you could do that as well. Okay, so here is how we could do it. So let's erase all of that. So new observation is actually 3 rows, which is the first row, the third row and the 9th row, and then all the columns in iris small. So what is new observation? Just 3 rows. We want to add these 3 rows to the iris underscore small data frame. How do you do that? Iris underscore small, let's say iris underscore small again. We have already added 1 row and we're going to add 3 more rows. Iris underscore small equals rbind of iris underscore small, comma, new observation, right? Now, how many rows should be there in iris underscore small? We have already added 1 row previously, so that made it 151. Now we added 3 more rows, that should make it 154. Let's see, end row of iris underscore small is 153. I guess earlier we didn't assign iris underscore small using the rbind, right? And that's why the single observation that we have added previously was lost. So iris underscore small was back to 150 rows, and then now we have added 3 more rows and it made it to 153. Point being, if you don't do this assignment, the original data frame does not change, it just outputs the result. But if you want to add rows and then change the data frame itself, do the assignment. You can either do it to a new data frame, or you can do it to the original data frame 1 itself, and the data frame will change. So once again, how do you add rows to a data frame? The command is rbind. So using rbind, you can add a single row, or you can add a bunch of rows in one data frame into another data frame. And if you want to actually change the original data frame 1 itself, you just want to assign it to this same data frame 1, or you could do it to a new data frame in this case. For example, this is data frame 1, this is data frame 2, and this is data frame 3, iris underscore all. If you want to assign it back to the data frame 1 itself, you could say iris underscore small. So that's how you add rows to a data frame, to an existing data frame, or create a new data frame.